So we want to solve recent exams. So we will solve 2023 backwards. November 2023, variant 22. Okay, I'm going to read the questions and you will throw the answer. I'm not going to give out names so that we don't waste time. This exam is 40 questions and it is supposed to be answered. What's the time? 45 minutes. Okay. Now, if you do a proper practice, you can solve an exam, paper 2 exam in 30 minutes or 35 minutes and give yourself at least 5 to 10 minutes to revise. If there is a question that you think is tricky, do not spend a long time on this question. Move on and finish the rest of the exam and then go back to the tricky question. Okay? Now, the first 30 questions will be very easy. The tricky questions are usually the last 10 questions. So I want you to focus on the last 10. Good? Now let's read to the first question. Which processes are characteristics of all living things? Digestion, respiration, excretion, A, B, C, or D? Which one is not a characteristic of all living things? Hello?
C.
Yes, it is C. Because C is respiration and excretion. Digestion is not a characteristic of all living things. If you remember, characteristic of all living things, we used to memorize them by Mr. Green, if you remember. And digestion was not one of them. I want to get red color. Give me a chance. Thank you. So 1 is C. Okay, good. 1 is C. 2, using the binomial system, the Arctic fox is called the Vulpes lagopus. Which row is correct? The Vulpes is the genus or the species? A, B, C, or D? Yes, and the Lagopus is yes, it's B. The Lagopus is the species. The genus is in capital and the first name, and the species is the second name and always starting with a small letter. Which feature is found in all viruses? A, B, C, or D?
D.
Correct. Only one person is answering. I want you all to participate, or at least if you're silent, make sure that you know why the answer is D. Okay. Which features are possessed by all plant cells? Do they all have chloroplasts?
Yes.
I want all of them, even the root
No.
hair cells?
No.
No. Okay. So what's the answer? They all have cell walls?
Yes. B.
Yes. So the answer is B. Excellent. Okay. Now 5. The length of a bacterium in a diagram is 50 millimeters. The magnification is times 5,000. What is the actual length? Now, how do we calculate that? What is the equation? Oh, where did it go? Yes. What is the equation for magnification? Who will tell me?
Image over magnification.
Yes, it's I over AM. Now we have the magnification, which is times 5,000, and we have the size of the image, which is 50. What is the actual size?
50 over 5,000.
Okay, is this the only step that we will do? 50 divided by 5,000. The answer I will get is 0.01.
We have to convert it.
Excellent. We have to convert it because all the answers I can see here in micrometers. How do I convert this into micrometers? Because this will be in millimeters. Times 1,000. The answer will be 10. So the answer will be B. Okay. I hope you understand what happened here. Now 6, the diagram shows an experiment to investigate osmosis in living cells. And then you have the diagram here, you have pure water here, and then you have here concentrated sugar solution. Now tell me, the water will move in which direction? From A to B or from B to C?
From A to B. From A to B?
Yes, you are correct. From A to B, because A is pure water, the higher water potential, B is concentrated of low water potential, and the water will move by osmosis from A to B. So what will happen to the volume of the water and the sugar after 12 hours? The volume of the water then will decrease or increase?
Decrease.
Yes, correct. And the volume of the sugar will
Increase.
increase. So it is A. Okay. Multiple choice questions are very easy. While you are practicing, now try to solve as much as possible. Try to solve exams, the recent, like from backwards to the later exams, and make sure you understand every question. 7, which statements about active transport are correct? 1, it transports particle from low to high. It always transports particle into cells. It involves protein molecules in the cell membrane, or it uses energy. Which one is wrong?
2.
1, 2, or 3, 4? Yes, 2 is wrong. And 1 and 3 and 4, they are wrong or correct?
Correct.
Correct. So we will choose one answer that has 1, 3, and 4, which I always see is only B. Okay. Now, if you ask me why 2 is wrong, because active transport or molecules can move into or out of cells, not only in one direction. Okay. It's from low to high concentration, but in any direction. Which row identifies the chemical elements in proteins? Now, this is so easy. Quickly, quickly, quickly.
A.
A, yes, they have everything, including nitrogen. Very good. The table shows some large biological molecules and some small ones. Which row correctly pairs large molecules with the smaller molecules used to make them? 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, or D?
1.
Okay, 1 is right or wrong. 1, cellulose is broken down to glucose. Is 1 correct?
Yes.
Yes, correct. 2, oil. Oil is broken down into amino acids?
No.
No, no way. 3, glycogen is broken down to glucose?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, correct. 4, protein is broken down to ethanol?
No.
No. So we want an answer that has 1 and 3, and it will be B. Okay, this is core. This is very easy. The graph shows the results of an experiment to investigate the rate of respiration in an organism in different environmental temperatures, and we have the classic graph that we know very well. What explains the increase in the rate of respiration between 10 and 30? Here. Why is there an increase in the rate of respiration? A, the enzymes are denaturing, or there are more frequent effective collisions between the enzyme and substrate. There are fewer enzyme substrate complexes, or there is less kinetic energy. The answer is very obvious.
B.
Yes, B. Okay. I told you the first 20 are very easy, so don't get any mistake in the first 20. 11, the diagram shows the rate of photosynthesis varies with light. The 4 curves show different conditions of temperature and carbon dioxide. And what limits the rate of photosynthesis at point B? Now, this is a nice question. Point B here. What is the limiting factor at B? Is it light intensity? Yes or no?
No.
No, no way, because we are increasing light intensity, but even though we are increasing the light intensity, the rate of photosynthesis is constant. So the limiting factor has to be something other than the light intensity. Look at the other factors. Here we increase the temperature and we also increase the carbon dioxide concentration. So look at the highest graph, you can see an increase in temperature from 20 to 30. So the temperature was the limiting factor. And we also increased the percentage of carbon dioxide from 0.1 to 0.2. So these two factors were limiting factors at P, the temperature and the CO2 concentration. Do you understand this question, question 11?
Yes.
Okay, so the answer will be C, because the light intensity is not a limiting factor. The carbon dioxide is a limiting factor, yes, and the temperature is a limiting factor. So the answer is C. Okay, now I know that a lot of you will make mistakes in this question. Let me highlight it. But do you understand question 11?
Yes.
Good. Now 12. The diagram shows a cell with groups of bacteria around its edge. The bacteria here, now if you look at the diagram, you see that this bacteria has chloroplast. So if it has chloroplast, how does it feed?
Photosynthesis.
Correct, by photosynthesis. The bacteria have moved to areas of high oxygen concentration. Which process in the cell causes the bacteria to form these groups? Now, these groups of bacteria, they need oxygen. Who will produce the oxygen and how will this oxygen be produced? Which process in the cell, in this cell, causes the bacteria to form these groups? Which process will produce the oxygen needed by the bacteria?
B.
Photosynthesis.
Yes, you are correct. Yes, photosynthesis. Okay, so I hope this is clear. 13. Which tooth is the premolar? A, B, C, or D?
D.
No, no, no. I was expecting you to
A.
say
A.
D. D, my dear. Yes, D, my dear, is a molar. Okay, the premolar is here. This is an incisor. What is C?
Canine.
Yes. A lot of you tried to convince me that the teeth is not included. It's here in a 2023 exam. So this is in the recent syllabus. So the A is the premolar. Let me also highlight that in case you want to revise it. Okay. Okay. So question 13, A is the premolar. 14, some medicines are made into tablets which are coated in a starch-like substance. The coating protects the medicine from the effects of gastric juice. Which enzyme digests the coating and what is produced by this action? Now, what is, now here you will match the enzyme with the product. A, B, C, or D?
C.
Amylase. What does amylase break down? Let me see. C, lipase, fatty. Excellent. Good, good. Okay. 14, 1 minute. The lipase, 1 minute, but there is a mistake. It's not C because the tablet is coated in starch-like substance. The enzyme lipase breaks down fats into fatty acid and glycerol. You are correct. But here they're telling you that the tablet is coated with a starch-like substance. So it is not amylase. What is the
D.
enzyme that will break down the starch? Yes, it's
Lipase.
amylase into simple reducing sugars. It's B, okay? It's not C. Now wait, we have to make sure. This is the mark scheme. 14. Yes, 14B. Okay, so 14B. Pay attention to the question. Okay, 15. Now, which vessel carries blood to the liver? To the liver. Pay attention. It's A or B or C or D. I want to ask you, what is B and C? What's this vessel?
Lymphatic vessel.
You are correct. This is the lymphatic vessel, part of the lymphatic system, and this is the lacteal. So is this blood? Is this carrying blood?
No, capillaries are carrying blood.
No, correct. So the answer cannot be B and it cannot be C. So we will exclude B and C. So the answer is either A or D. Now, which one is carrying the blood to the liver? A or D?
D, because it's going, the arrow is going out from the capillaries.
Excellent. Yes, it's D. Now, I will ask you a question. What is the name of the vessel D that is going to the liver, from the intestines to the liver?
Hepatic portal vein.
Excellent. Well done. Hepatic portal vein. Good girl. Now, what is A? Don't give me the name. Give me the type of vessel A going towards the intestines. Let's say from the heart to the intestines. What is A?
Artery.
It's coming from an artery. Excellent. It's a branch from the artery, from the aorta. Now, the arteries going to the intestines are called the mesenteric arteries, but you don't have to know their name. So we said that the answer is D. Okay? Let's look at the mark scheme just to be on the safe side. Yes, 15D. Don't look at the other answer. 16. Which part of a leaf does most water evaporate during transpiration? The cuticle or the guard cells or the spongy mesophyll cells or the xylem? Remember the definition of transpiration.
Spongy
Yes,
mesophyll.
correct. The spongy mesophyll. Well done. It is C. Okay, good. We're nearly done with half the exam. The photograph shows a cross section through a sunflower stem. Now, I want to ask you a question not related to this one. Why is it a stem and it is not a root? If they
The
give you this
vascular
same picture and they tell you,
Because
yes,
the
because
vascular
the root, the xylem is inside.
what do you mean the xylem is? The xylem is inside, okay, but I want you to talk to me about the arrangement of the vascular bundles. These are the vascular bundles. How are they arranged? Are they in the center or they are arranged in a ring?
The xylem is in the center,
ring.
in the root.
Excuse me? It is in the center. What do you mean it's in the center? We have either two cross sections. Either you have a root or a stem. If we have a root, the xylem and the phloem, they will be arranged in a ring like this, or they will be in the center.
Will be in the center.
Correct. So the vascular bundle, the bundle that contains the xylem and the phloem, in the root, it's in the center. Okay, don't forget that. But in a stem, here they told you it's a stem, but they can get you this same picture and ask you if this is a stem and a root or a root. This is a stem. Why? Because the vascular bundles, you can see they are arranged in a ring. And what is Z? The bundle that is directed towards the inside, like you told me. What's the name of the tissue Z?
Xylem.
Yes. And this xylem, what is its function? Does it transport
Transport
sucrose or mineral
minerals.
ions?
Transport minerals.
I did
C.
not hear you. Yes. So it is C. Perfect. Good. 18. What is P? And what is its function?
P is a lymphocyte.
Yes, correct. And what does it produce?
Antibody.
Antibody.
Well done. Amazing. Very good. 19. I told you now the questions will start to become tricky. The first 20, they're easy. And then the last 10 are the hard ones. Now the diagram shows the blood vessels associated with the liver. This is a vessel coming out of the aorta, going to the liver. This is Y. So what is Y? If it's out of the aorta, what type of blood vessel is that?
Hepatic artery.
Correct. It's an artery. It's going to the liver. So what name will it have?
Hepatic artery.
Correct. Perfect. So the answer is either B or C. So we will exclude A and we will exclude D. Okay. Now here Z, it is telling you, or it is a blood vessel with an arrow from the small intestine towards the liver. So what is the name of Z?
Hepatic portal vein.
Hepatic portal vein.
Correct. So now we are narrowing down to C. Z is the hepatic portal vein. Okay. And Y is the hepatic artery. Now look at X. It's coming out of the liver. So what is this blood vessel? It's an artery or a vein. And what is it called?
The hepatic vein.
Correct. So the answer is C. Well done. Now 20. When a pathogen enters the blood, the immune system uses different mechanisms to destroy the pathogen. The diagram shows one of those mechanisms. Now this is the pathogen, and there is a molecule on the surface of the pathogen called Y. This molecule on the surface of the pathogen, what is it called? It's you
Antigen.
tell. Excellent. Well done. This is a self or non-self antigen.
Non-self antigen.
Perfect. Of course, non-self because it's a pathogen. It's a foreign antigen. Now, what is X that will be released from the lymphocyte and destroy the antigen? Excuse me? Well
Antibody.
done. Perfect. 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 So structure Y is the antibody and X is made by lymphocytes and structure X. So the answer must be A. Okay. The answer is A. No, wait. The answer, structure X, we said X is the, not A. What's the answer? You tell me. You say it. Yes. C. Antibody, lymphocyte, structure Y, antigen. Yes. Well done. It's not A. Okay. 21. What is the composition of expired air compared with inspired air? Now that is easy. You tell me.
Carbon dioxide increases in expired air.
Of course, and expired, inspired, but we're talking, be careful. We all get confused. This is inspired, not expired. So, carbon dioxide, what is the composition of expired air compared with inspired? So, the carbon dioxide will, what did you say?
Increase in expired air.
Yes, you are correct. Of course, it will increase. What about the oxygen? You tell me the answer. I don't want to help you.
Decrease.
Yes, it's D. Someone said D, yeah? And what about the water vapor?
Will increase.
Yes, correct. So the answer is D. 22. During exercise, receptors detect a change in the blood and cause the breathing rate to increase. Which change do the receptors detect and where are they found in the body? Change detected by the blood, what is it? And the location of those receptors. Now, I think we said this so many times. What's
D.
the answer? D, you said D. Now, the location of those receptors in the lung? No way. Come on. When you exercise, which gas increases in the blood that is detected by the brain and then
Carbon dioxide.
correct?
Oh,
So the carbon dioxide will increase. Who will detect this increase?
Brain.
The lung or the brain? The
the
brain.
brain.
So the answer is
A.
A. Well done. It's A, not the D. Okay. 23. Yeast cells can convert glucose into alcohol and carbon dioxide. Which statement about this process is correct? The alcohol produced can be used to make bread rise. The carbon dioxide produced can be burnt as biofuel. The yeast cells are using oxygen for this process. The yeast cells are carrying out anaerobic respiration. It's very obvious. What's the answer?
D.
Yes, D. Well done. If anyone has any concerns, stop me. What is the correct balanced equation for one type of respiration? Is okay. I'm not going to read that for you because if I read it, I'll give you the answer. It's A or B or C or D.
C.
C.
Of course, it's C. This is glucose broken down into alcohol, C2H5OH plus carbon dioxide, and it's properly balanced. Perfect. 25. Which row shows an organ and the substance it excretes? You read it. A, B, C, or D? Does the bladder release water?
No.
No. Okay. Does the kidney release salts or ions?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now the lung excretes oxygen?
No.
No. Carbon
No
dioxide.
way. Of course. And the urethra, does it release urea?
No. Urine.
Urine.
Excellent. Very good. So the answer is obviously B. Okay, good job, girls. Now, which part is the motor neuron? I think we
C.
memorized this picture.
C.
C, well done. Okay. Well done, well done. Which hormones can increase blood glucose concentration? Increase, not decrease.
B.
Well done. Glucagon and adrenaline. Don't forget adrenaline when you're scared. What is defined as a substance that is taken into the body and modifies or affects the chemical reactions in the body? Now, this is easy also.
Drug.
Yes, drug. Good. Yeah, drug. What is the disadvantage of sexual reproduction for a population in the wild? A reduction in genetic diversity, a decreased ability to adapt to changes in the environment, a reduction in reproduction if individuals are isolated, an increased likelihood of a disease affecting all individuals. Now, also, this is obvious. Which is the
D.
answer? Again,
D.
no, it's not. No, it's not.
C. C.
It's C, of course. Sexual reproduction, one of its disadvantages that you cannot reproduce alone in the wild. A reduction in reproduction if the individuals are isolated. Don't you need a partner?
I'm sorry. I read it asexual. Sorry.
Okay, so read the questions carefully. Okay, we have 10 more. Very good. This was repeated using pollen. No, I have to read it. Pollen grains from a plant were placed onto the stigma of a flower of the same plant. Now, when the pollen grains are put on a plant, on the stigma of a flower on the same plant, you tell me, is this cross or self-pollination?
Self.
Self-pollination.
Well done, self-pollination. The lengths of the pollen tubes were measured for 4 hours, and the mean length of the style in this species of plant is 2 millimeters. This was repeated using pollen from a different plant. So this is a graph here showing you what time we used pollen from the same plant or self-pollination, and we compared it when we transferred pollen from a different plant. This is cross-pollination. And we measured the length of the pollen tube from the self-pollinated plant or the cross-pollinated plant. Now, the length of the pollen tube increased, you tell me, in cross-pollination or self-pollination. What do you see from the graph?
In cross-pollination.
Yes, it's very obvious, in cross-pollination. Which statements are correct? Now, I told you 30 till 40, a little bit tricky. Self-pollination does not lead to fertilization. Is one right or wrong?
Wrong.
According to the graph, forget what you studied. You have a graph here. Self-pollination does not lead to fertilization. Did the length of the pollen tube grow?
No.
Here is the stigma. Yes, you're right. It did not grow. This is the pollen. This pollen came from the same plant, but the pollen tube did not grow. Normally, it should grow, and the male nucleus should move down until it reaches the ovule inside the ovary, but it did not grow. So one is right, actually. Self-pollination did not lead to fertilization. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, let's see two. The difference in growth of the two types of pollen is an adaptation to increase variation. Now, does this increase variation or reduce variation? When the
No,
plants will
just
grow
variation.
better in wait, don't rush. When the plants will grow better in cross-pollination than in self-pollination. So they are encouraging cross or self-pollination.
Cross.
Yes, they are encouraging cross-pollination. Because when a pollen comes from a different plant, the pollen tube will grow. But when the pollen comes from the same plant, see, the pollen tube does not grow. So this will increase variation or reduce it. What do you think? When I am encouraging cross-pollination, this will improve variation. This will increase
Yes.
variation or reduce variation.
Increase variation.
Yes. So 2 is also right. Okay. Now let's look at 3. The pollen tubes from a different plant grew fastest between 2 hours and 4 hours. Now I have to go to the graph and check this. I'll go to 2 hours and stop at 4 hours. And let's see, there was here an increase in the length. But is this the fastest rate of growth? Let's divide
No.
the graph into A and B and C and D. Someone said no, and you are right. Where in A, B, C, or D was the fastest rate of growth?
C.
Yes, you are correct. Can you tell me why did you choose C?
Because the line is the steepest.
Yes, you're right, because it's the steepest. Now, who is confused? Who is confused? No one is confused? So the answer will be what then if you're not confused?
1, 2, and 3.
3 is wrong. We said 3 is wrong. The pollen tubes from a different plant means we are looking at this graph, the solid line. I cannot mark it anymore. I don't know what happened. Okay? Grew fastest between 2 and 4. We said from 2 to 4. Was it the steepest or the fastest growth rate? And you
No.
said no, the fastest growth rate was at C, not at D. So 3 is right or wrong?
Wrong.
Wrong. So the answer is only 1 and 2. So the answer is B. Okay, let me try to highlight this question so that if you want to revise it. Okay, you revise it. We messed up the exam. Good. Now, 31. Which hormones are released by the placenta during pregnancy?
D.
D.
Yes. You will be looking for progesterone and you will be confused between D and D. But definitely you will not choose B. Why?
Because FSH help in the growth of the follicle.
Okay, and FSH, it is produced from where? From the placenta?
From the brain. No, from the brain.
Never. Yes, from the brain. So B must be wrong. So the answer must be D. Okay? Estrogen is also produced during pregnancy to prepare the female to breastfeed. It improves or it helps in the growth of her mammary glands to produce milk. Okay, 32. Why are cells in the pancreas the only body cells that produce insulin? Now, I want you to focus on this question. A, all the genes in the nucleus of a cell in the pancreas are expressed. B, other cells do not have the gene for insulin. C, the cells in the pancreas have twice as many genes as the other body cells. D, the gene for insulin is only expressed by cells in the pancreas. What's the answer for question 32?
B.
I guess D.
It's D. It's D. Who said B?
What's the difference between?
I'll tell you. Now, we studied protein synthesis, didn't we? And we studied the 2 steps of protein synthesis. We will copy part of the DNA, We will copy it on a messenger RNA, and then the messenger RNA will go to the ribosome, and the ribosome will translate it. Remember?
Yes.
Okay. Now there is a part that says that we have all the chromosomes. All our body cells contain 46 chromosomes. But are all the proteins produced? Are all the genes expressed?
No.
No.
No. The cell will only express the genes that it needs. And there is an advantage. We are saving energy and we are saving resources, and we don't need all these genes. We only need one gene or two gene, because we will become specialized. And this is what makes cells specialized. Remember this part?
Yes.
Okay, so cells of your body do not contain more chromosomes or less chromosomes. All your body cells contain all the chromosomes, but are they all expressed?
No.
No, only what we need are expressed. So D is the answer. The gene for insulin is only expressed by cells in the pancreas. So our skin cells, our eye cells, our muscle cells, we all have the gene for insulin, but it is not expressed except in the pancreas. Clear? Let's go to the mark scheme to make sure. 32, 32, 32, 32, D. Yes, we're right. Okay? You have to know why it is D. 33. Which statement is correct? Mitosis always produces offspring that are homozygous, or mitosis producing cells that are genetically identical? I will not continue. What's the answer?
B.
Very easy. B. Yes, of course it's B. Now 34. What are sources of genetic variation in populations? Meiosis, random mating, random fertilization, or all of them?
All of them.
All of them.
Mm, mm,
A.
all of them. Yes, you are right. Which row shows features of xerophytes? Remind me, xerophytes, they live in the desert or they live in water?
And desert.
Very good. Now, which feature here is needed so that they survive in the desert and reduce water loss? Do they need to be green, or the leaves reduced to spines, or the presence of stomata or thick cuticle?
D.
Which, let me see, D.
C.
D, green color from chlorophyll. Okay, it
C.
does not reduce water loss. 1 minute, 1 minute. Leaves reduced to spines. How come? How come? This is wrong. D is wrong. Why is wrong? Why did I say that D is wrong? Because the leaves, they are reduced to spines. Remember our cactus,
All right.
sabor? Okay, it has leaves that are reduced to spines to reduce the surface area and reduce the water loss. So it's not D. Let's look at C. Green color from chlorophyll, it will not reduce transpiration. So this is right. Leaves reduced to spines, yes. Presence of stomata does not reduce water loss. On the contrary, it increases water loss. Thick cuticle, yes, it's C. Okay, so 35, C. Let's check. 35C. Yes. Don't look at the answer for 36. The diagram shows a food chain. Which statement about a pyramid based on this food chain is correct? Now, it starts with a tree, okay? Drawn as a pyramid of biomass, the hawk would have the largest bar size. Now, let's take it one by one. Can A be right? Can the top consumer have the largest bar size?
No, the producer.
Of course not. So A is definitely wrong, okay? And if you remember the pyramid of biomass, it looks like this. The biomass is reducing. It looks like a normal pyramid, but in bars. Now B, drawn as a pyramid of energy, the tree would have the largest bar size.
Yes.
Is B right or wrong?
It's correct.
It's correct. Okay, the pyramid of energy looks like a traditional pyramid, and the producers are always at the base, and it is always widest at the base. Now let's just make sure that C and D are wrong. Drawn as a pyramid of energy, the tree would have the smallest bar size. Is this possible? In the pyramid of energy, are the producers with a small bar size?
No.
No.
No, so C is definitely wrong. D, drawn as a pyramid of numbers, the hawk would have the biggest or the largest bar size. Is D right or wrong?
Wrong.
It's wrong. If we would draw a pyramid of numbers, the pyramid of number will start with one tree. So we will have a narrow bar that represents one tree, And then we will have a normal pyramid that is wider at the base and then it narrows down. We have lots of insects and then a smaller number of blue tits. I don't know what are these. And then a smaller number of hawks. So the hawk will not have the largest pore size. The answer is B, 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 B. Okay. So let's look at the mark scheme. 36B. Well done. 37. During the nitrogen cycle, which process releases nitrogen gas into the air? A, B, C, or D?
C.
Into the air. Nitrogen gas, it will go back to the air.
Denitrification.
B.
Yes, it's B. Denitrification. B. Okay. 38. Red-green color blindness is the sex-linked characteristic caused by a recessive allele. Which prediction can be made about the children of a woman who is colorblind and a man with normal vision? Now, question 38, you have to make a Punnett square in order to know the answer. So here you have a woman that is colorblind, and they told you that the red-green color blindness is sex-linked and recessive. So which alleles will you use? Which letters?
I'm gonna use the XX chromosome وهنكتب the small letter.
Yes, you will use, what did you say? This is sex-linked and it is recessive. Okay? So when they tell you that this disease is sex-linked, which allele do we use again? Please tell me.
The XX chromosome for the woman and the
XY, you mean, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now they said that the female is sick. So this female, she has color blindness. So what will be her genotype?
homozygous recessive.
Correct. So she's a female, XX. Let's say color blindness, we will represent it by a small c. So she is recessive, small c, small c. Now, they said that the father is healthy. So what will be the genotype for the father? This is the healthy father.
XY
X, excellent, XY and capital C. Okay. Now I'm going to do a Punnett square. This is the mother with the recessive alleles. And this is the father with one dominant allele here. Okay, let me change color. They will have here a daughter, one dominant, one recessive. And this is another daughter. Again, this is dominant. I'll do this with green because it's confusing. This is recessive. And this is a boy, okay, that is recessive here. And this is a boy that is recessive. Now tell me, the girls will be healthy or they will be sick?
and
It will be
Of course, the
carriers.
girls, they will be healthy. Yes, correct. I was just going to ask you. They will be healthy, but they will be carriers. But let's say the girls, let's write all the features. They will be healthy, but they will be carriers. Now, what about the boys?
They will be sick.
colorblind.
They will be sick. Their mother made them sick. Okay, good. Now, let's go back to the question so that we don't do any mistakes. Which prediction can be made about the children of a woman who is colorblind and a man with color vision, with normal vision? A, the boys will be colorblind and the girls will have a 50% chance of being colorblind. Or B, the boys will be colorblind and the girls will have normal vision. C, girls will be colorblind and the boys will have a 50% chance of being colorblind. D, girls will be colorblind and the boys will have normal vision. What's the answer?
B.
B.
Yes. Now we are sure of the answer because we did a Punnett square. If we did not do a Punnett square, reading that will be so confusing. So when you have an inheritance question, please do a Punnett square so that you're sure of your answer. 39. One method of conserving fish stocks is to have a minimum mesh size for fishing nets. How is the mesh size chosen to conserve a particular fish species? The holes in the net must be small enough to catch only young fish. The holes in the nest must be small enough to catch all fish old enough to reproduce. And the holes in the net must be large enough to catch some fish of all ages. Or the holes in the net must be large enough to allow young fish to escape. Which one is very
D.
obvious? D, yes. Okay, I just want to make sure. 38B, but I am sure. 38B 39D. احنا شاطرين جدا. Very good. 40. The diagram shows how a human gene can be inserted into a bacterium. Now the steps are very obvious. We will do step 1. We will isolate the gene here. Here is the gene removed. Good. And then step 2, we will get out this. What is this? Remind me. They have it here.
plasmid.
The plasmid. Now what is happening in step 3?
DNA ligase.
Yes, someone said DNA ligase. I was actually waiting for that. Okay, the ligase enzyme will then fuse the gene with the plasmid, and then we will create a recombinant plasmid. And then what is happening in 4?
Mitosis.
Well done. Amazing. Which row shows the correct processes at 1, 2, and 3 and 4? What is 1? Okay, let's see. Using restriction enzymes. 1 or 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 and
1
4.
and 2.
Multiplicator. 1.
No, 1 and 2.
1 and 2. 1 and 2. 2 also restriction enzymes are used here. Yes, to cut the plasmid. So the answer will be B. خلاص. The answer will be B. Let's just make sure. Ligase enzyme is used in 3. Is the ligase enzyme used only in 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, very good. And then multiplication of bacteria in 4. Very good. So 40 is B. Okay, amazing. We finished this exam. You want us to solve another exam or another exam tomorrow? Hello? What do you
Tomorrow.
want? Tomorrow? Okay, حاضر. Fine. Okay. We'll solve another exam tomorrow at 1 p.m. You have any questions?
No, thank you.
No,
Okay.
thank you.
If you have any questions while you're solving, please, I know you have exams, but at least solve one exam a day. Paper 2 is very easy. One exam a day. And if you have any questions, send me on WhatsApp, okay? I'll meet you tomorrow at 1. We'll solve another exam. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doctor. Bye.
Welcome, my dear. Bye.